Alright, so in this video we'll discuss about what are the different types of tab configurations available. Right now, when I say tab configurations, let's say if I were to go to a specific application, let's say in the sales application for instance, we see a lot of tabs coming up here, right? So there's a way to configure these tabs, which to show, what to hide, what to be available on the application level, what to be available on the app launcher level. So if you already know, and if you don't know, these are the tabs that are visible on the application level, and these are your navigation items, right? When you go to accounts, you can open the account list view, and these tabs are also available in the app launcher, wherein when you click on view all down below under the all item section, you should find them here. So if I type in accounts, this is the same tab that is present here on the application level. Let's say if I want to check contacts, I have something that's contacts available here, right? So there's one position that a tab can be in is the navigation item here on the application level. The second position is this particular area wherein under the app launcher there's all items, and it can be present here or it could not be present at all. So these are the three possible configurations available. Now the first one that we talked about, this right here, is default on, right, which means it will be available by default on the screen. The second one that we talked about is default off, which means it won't be present on the navigation item, but it will be present down here under the all item section so that you can access it. And the third one is hidden, wherein you don't see the tab at all, right? Now how to configure it, let's take a look. Before we go ahead and configure it, let's open and let's try to log in as some other user. So I have another user in my system. Let's go to profiles, or let's directly go to users. I have a limited set of users, so I can directly go to users, right? And here I have this standard platform profile based user, which is the trainer user, and I can log in. And if you don't know how this login button comes, do check my other video wherein we discussed about how to grant account login access for the administrator who can log in as any account or any user in the system, right? Do check out that video. Let's log in on this particular user's profile, and let's log in as the trainer here. So now I'll be switching back and forth from Safari to Google Chrome. Here I'm logged in as the system administrator, which is the SF trainer, and here I'm logged in as the standard platform user, which is the trainer guy. All right, and now if you notice, I have an application that's called AV, which is called, I don't know for what reason I named it AV, but let's go back and let's go to profile. So to set up tab configurations, we'll have to go to the profile. Now which profile are we talking about? The profile that this user is associated to. So I'll just go to users again as the system administrator, and here I'll go to the standard platform user. So here I'll go to the standard platform user, and here if I do a control F or a command F and I type in tab settings, I should see something that's called tab settings here, right? So let's go ahead and edit this profile and modify the tab settings. So I want to display accounts and contacts tabs on my application view right here on this section right here. And if we take a look on the app launcher, if I type in accounts, I see my tab here, but it's not coming up here, right? Or if I go to contacts, I see my tab coming up here, which means the default setting of these two objects should be default off. Let's take a look. So if I search for tab settings, which is here, and I check accounts, it says default off, and which is why it's not coming on the top layer, but it is on the all item section. Same is with contacts, right? So let's go back and check contacts, which is again default off. Now let's do something. Let's set contacts as default on, and let's save our profile. Right now that we do that, let's go back to our user and let's refresh the screen. So you see the contacts tab is coming on the top because we set it as default on, whereas the account tab is still default off, so it's not coming up here, right? What if I want to set it hidden? Basically I don't want the user to see it at all, so I can just go ahead and click on edit. I can go to the tab settings, and here I can just go to my relevant object. Let's say I go for the contact object again, and I just set it as hidden, whereas for account I'll just set it as default on. So now I should see the account tab coming up on the screen, and contacts won't be visible at all, right? Once this is saved, let's go back to our user login and refresh this page. I still see the contact screen. Let me just log out and log in again. Sometimes this takes a while or some cache issue, so let me just log in again. Right now, let's log in. So you see the contact has gone away. And if I take a look at the accounts, let's see, why is accounts not coming up? Accounts is here, but it's not coming up on the application level, which means there might be some issue. Let's go to the app manager. Even though we have configured our profile, and under the profile, if I go to the tab settings, I see that the tab is set to default on, but even then the tab is not visible, which means the tab might be missing from the application level, right? So we'll go to the app manager. Let me switch to Lightning. Now let's go to the app manager and see if the tab is visible on the application level or not. So I'll just go to app manager. Under app manager, what app do I want to change? The AV app, right? This one right here. I'll just click on edit. And here I'll go to navigation items, and you notice that we just have contacts, leads, and opportunities. We don't have accounts as a selected item, which is why even though the tab setting is default on, the account tab is not visible. So we'll have to include the tab to be available as a navigation item on the application level, right? So another thing we learned. So now that we have accounts here, and now if we go back to our trainer profile, we should be able to see the accounts tab coming up. Yeah, so now you can see the accounts tab coming up, right? So the primary important thing would be that the app manager, or rather the application, should have the navigation item available or selected on the app manager configuration, and after which the profile settings will take place. So if it is default on, you will see it here. If it is default off, you'll see it here in the app launcher list, and if it is hidden, you won't see it at all. All right, so that was about tab configurations. Thank you.